Hello everyone, my name is Nut, and welcome to the type of video I was not planning on having on my channel. However, if it wasn't for the fact I truly believe that Taigaholic is a victim of harassment and lies, but also due to the fact that this also will hold some deep importance to me in the future. As VTubing is something I'm interested in, dipping my toes with PNG tubing here, and I just want to make sure what I go into is healthy. Anyways, welcome to my reading of the Exoneration of Taiga document. Today we'll be reading a document here made by Burn that most people have seemingly just go over. They have not gone over this. I may or may not be a pioneer in this. I have no idea. Yeah, unfortunately, instead, people spread the misinformation from the three people that Baron will be exposing in this document and defending Taiga from them. Unfortunately, those lies made by him have been spread by people unknowingly, mostly people who didn't look into things, and even led to a point where no one stood up for Taiga, and especially when both the YouTube and Twitter got taken down by mass reporting by a certain individual I will not name. No one stood up for him for a while, and even then, when they started GoFundMe, people kept spreading misinformation about that. So I am here to set the record straight. Alright, so without any further ado, let's start with this Twitter thread. This will have some important information here. So, Burn starts off by saying, in a strange twist, I am today doing an unexpose. Originally planned to be anonymous, but that decision was changed, and I won't edit the document as it is finalized as it is. The exoneration of Bungo Taiga. And for context, this is still Taigaholic, it's just a name change over years. This was apparently based off of an anime called Bungo Stray Dogs, but I think they changed their name because they dropped the whole dog thing, and now they're based off of a tiger. Anyways, I dug into a femboy VTuber who was accused of being, for now I'll refer to this as sick individual, but I'm sure y'all could read there. Anyways, in a surprising twist, what I found was a victim of stalking, harassment, and falsely reporting them as falsely posing, having them shown as a sick individual, as, yeah, again, you could see there. I am in communication with Taiga, but I was first silently lurking in his Discord and watching before reaching out. Based on lurking the Discord, I saw no indications of grooming, minor endangerment, racism, or transphobia. After a while, I made contact with Taiga and asked a lot of questions, while also digging for receipts elsewhere. What we discussed is in the docs above. Please read it first. I dated the doc to account for any biases that could arise in the future. We have continued talking, and the story actually gets more tragic. That I can agree with, as we see today, or hence why I made this. Anyways, this video, I should clarify, I did not make any of this. Anywho, a while after the doc was finalized, Taiga opened up about some of his past. He opened up about the fact that around 13, he was convinced by an adult to e-date him. He actually asked the question, was I groomed? And this seems to be just coming to terms with this. Whether will talk about this more or work on unpacking that privately is up to him. Which, first off, put a pin in that, and we'll reference this a few times. Alright, this is a very important part. And also, the clarified Taiga did go over in quite a few streams about, so it's not secret stuff. Anyways, I suspect many of his odder behaviors to be maybe coping mechanisms, but I'm not a therapist. I am sending him resources that may help him get in contact with one though, if he so chooses. He also told me more about Azzy. He provided logs of whispers, DMs on Twitch, of Azzy admitting to and defending having intercourse with a drunk and high 18-year-old the day they turned 18. I need to verify sharing receipts won't affect any legal investigation and censor victim's name. Which, yes, that's one of them. Just to keep this simple, let's talk about the three people responsible for a lot of the messes that have been happening to Taiga. They are Azzy, Gilk, and Adrian's. We'll go into more detail, but those are the three people. Nothing Taiga said was brought up by Azzy for 2 years until after Azzy was banned from Taiga's community, which was a month into Taiga's VTubing career, as soon as he discovered to be having lewd interactions with community members, and which at the time was a safe for work all ages server. Yes, you'll be finding some irony that will be exposed in this document. There's a lot, and there's a reason why you should not take the allegations seriously, because there's a load of irony. Alright, it amazes me, someone who's into that, as you can see there, a non-consensualist and IRL stalker put out a document that nobody seriously fact-checked and has given rise to daily harassment from aunties who grew minors to attack someone they allege incorrectly is a sick individual putting said minors in danger too. This being written as Porcelain Maid was just accused and confirmed of worse. Whether he is a danger to children is still being looked into. I'm assuming by the time of that tweet, I'm sure things have changed since then. Anyways, but he contacted a minor, unlike Taiga, and both exposes were for comments made by people during high school ages. Taiga has been upfront and honest, even about the more uncomfortable things and mistakes he has made and grown from. This is something I have never witnessed a sick individual do, and I do not believe he is one, or a threat to minors or anyone else. If you read this to an end, thank you. And then here are some updates here, which, like, one, there's, like, this clip, which I might not get into this video because I'm trying to make it more about this document, but I have seen some of this stuff. And there's this as well, too. Alright, now that's all away, let's get into the actual doc here, because I think that would be a great place to start. So this is the exoneration of Taiga, and the stalker and ex-mods who harassed him. I'll let you know, as this points out here, some links in this document lead to not safe for work content or profiles. They have been highlighted in red. I will be mentioning them, but I will not be pulling it up in this video. I will, however, off the video, just be pulling this stuff up so I can describe it off my screen, I mean. But we'll cross that bridge when we get there. Anyways, I am writing this to correct the record on a VTuber known as Bungo Taiga, or Taigaholic as they're known now. I am not a longtime fan, nor was I connected to Taiga. I am an independent investigator who happened across Taiga, enjoyed hearing his impressive voice work, but happened across some of the rumors regarding him. As I dug a little deeper into his background, I will be keeping my identity anonymous. Of course, as you've seen, Burn has went back on that. As many actual sick individuals I investigate will stalk and harass anyone I associate with. I know that will make it harder to trust this document and confirm it isn't just one of Taiga's friends, but I would rather that doubt than draw additional harassers to him. I have directly talked to Taiga to discuss these issues after my initial investigations and ask questions. He has been cooperative and honest through my investigation. Upon deeper inspection, this is a case of harassment and IRL stalking performed against Taiga. And as a former victim of stalking and harassment, I can empathize greatly with this situation and want to correct the record with my findings. Like I mentioned with the brief, I've not mentioned it with the brief summary, but my first attempt at making this video, this was a first time reading. I was initially shocked. I did not read the full document, admittedly, the first time. By now, I have, so there aren't going to be like any surprises with this. But yeah, I thought that was just an interesting thing to point out. Anyways, Taiga has been accused of being a sick individual and possible child abuser. However, something that's glanced over by the public are these two sources and the distributor of these accusations. Are now I will interject here and also mention how people also glance over this whole document. Yeah, I think a nobody like me would have to make a video on this is kind of sad, actually extremely sad. Uh, someone who barely has any presence shouldn't have to cover this. Anyways, back to this. Discussing these three brings a lot of context to the original doc and brings its validity and purpose into question. The doc written on Taiga that alleges he is uh, one of those, as you see here, sick individual, racist, transphobe, and that is toxic. I've said this in my first attempt in the video I made this, and I'll say this again. It is kind of just a it's just a silly thing to just tack on. They're clearly trying to put as much as possible, even if it's a little bit ridiculous, like toxicity. Really? Anyways, was pushed by a stalker using an old doc made half a year prior to two of Taiga's former moderators, Gilk and Azzy, both banned a few months apart, and then the doc against Taiga appearing 3 weeks after Gilk was banned from Taiga's Discord, and calling Taiga a person who would do it for the money. Yeah, I'm sure you could read that. Anyways, according to Taiga, as he was banned for constant inappropriate flirting with other server members, including minors, and not performing mod duties, after constant complaints from Taiga's community. Also, I guess now that's done, let me pull this up for context so you have a face to put these to. This is or was Gilk. Keep in mind this is an archive, so this is probably not updated. This is Gilk, and that's Azzy. I don't know, this does just seem like an archive, so I don't know if a lot has changed, but just to put faces to these because they have their OCs here. Back to this. His stalker was known as a super fan of Taiga, and when I say super, I mean it. And I could come in here and say and vouch for that too. I do agree that the stalker was way too much of a fan. Probably would be called a stan by nowadays terms, but anyways. He has donated a total at least $500,000 to Taiga. He was an active member in Taiga's community. Here is a video of these super chats. I've already looked at this video. I will say, I may or may not put in a clip from the last attempt of a video I made on this. I did not fully grasp how much it was, and after seeing how it was done, basically there was I mean, multiple donations. You know what? Screw it. We'll go ahead and go into this. I'll only show you a little bit. I might skip through this as well.
Let haters hate and shrug your shoulders.
Donation.
Hey, hey!
I'm just helicoptering money at this point.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Adrian. I really appreciate it. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Mwah. And finally, Watching Wizard, thank you for the fluid.
You're... Do you remember my first donation to you?
Uh-huh.
Hey, hey!
I had no idea you'd end up being such an important part of my life.
That was just a little bit of that. And yeah, actually now I just decided not to do that. Basically, I was in complete and utter shock the first time watching this. I kind of had a moment where I was paused, I think it was around here. But yes, that's a little bit of context. Anyways, he would push Azzy and Gilk's doc, as well as host an entire website dedicated to exposing Taiga. We'll get to that, but I'll advise not going onto the website. We'll see. Well, we'll get to it. Anyways, according to Taiga, all three of these people tried to get closer to Taiga in an intimate way and were rejected, leading to the creation of the doc and then the website. Adrian would buy and host this under multiple web addresses. The website was cleared out and it is now just a boilerplate statement indicating the stalker is supposedly done. About that, here's why I don't trust it. Last time I tried doing this, first off, there's the confirmed I'm not a robot, but I'm pretty sure, like, once I click this, there's also, yeah, that, I do not trust this. Okay, so I'm gonna close that. If you're more familiar with that stuff and maybe it's nothing, let me know. Or if you have screenshots of the boilerplate statement without any of the doxing stuff of Taiga, you can let me know through DMs or stuff. But yeah, I just thought I should mention that. This website was not the end of this though. The stalker, who was very rich, a self-described millionaire, and I should interject here and mention that's because they were a crypto investor. That was why they had so much money. Anyways, they would fly from France to Canada, driving to Taiga's town to Stockholm IRL. Now, I'm gonna test these because remember one of these not working. Okay, this is the one that doesn't work. I will go ahead and pull up this one. This one I believe should work. Oh, come on. I'm so sorry. Alright, now that I'm back, here's the video. So I'm just gonna go ahead. Actually, I'm gonna head and pull up the quality so I could see better. Okay, I'll pause this here. As you see, this is Spadina Avenue, Lakeshore Boulevard, and that's exit 153. Why I pause it here, you'll see, but just keep that in mind. Alright, and of course, uh, now that I got that video that finally worked, the tweet originally behind this is the car drives itself, watch it change lanes, and board a motorway. Alright, thankfully for that one, um, that ended up being pretty quick. A thing for you to keep in mind. Because they mentioned you could see. Oh. I should have. I should have thought about this. This is a second time reading this. I'm sorry. Oh, that's why, because it's small. Anywho, in the video, you can see exit 153, Spadina Avenue, Lakeshore Boulevard, which is in Ottawa, Ontario. Which if I do believe, actually no, I don't want to dox myself in Google Maps. That is in Canada. That video or that tweet was on the 23rd of December 2021. He did other traveling around Canada and did not leave the country until January 18th, 2022. We'll go to this, and they say, bye Canada, and this, if I translate it for you, is see you next time in French. And this looked like it would have been a video, but it's clearly not working. I don't know. At least you can see some of the stuff in the archive. Alright. He also made threats of lawsuits against Taiga for simply discussing the stalking material. As he is extremely rich, he was able to bully, harass, stalk people, and make them fear to get legal recourse with his large fortune. His threat to Taiga, alleged commenting about his stalking amounted to abuse, despite revealing Taiga's legal name all over his exposed website. Taiga fears to try to legally go after the stalker, as he suspects the stalker's goal is to tie Taiga up in a costly legal battle he cannot afford. A fair and valid fear. Understandable, and this was something I did not last in my last attempt at this video, but yes, this now gives a lot more context to what I was wondering, because I was wondering why didn't Taiga do anything about Adrian's. Now we know why, as you see there. Burn has a censored legal document the stalker shared on Twitter as it reviews Taiga's name and city. We'll go ahead and take a short glance at this. As you see, this was made on the 6th of January 2022. It's a cease and desist and it's addressed to Taiga. Obviously, the names and important details have been left out. You can go ahead and pause here to take a look at this. But yeah, I would not. I would take that at face value, honestly. He also attempted to apologize to Taiga after labeling him as one, which I should double check. Alright. Yeah, I also accidentally. I did realize I accidentally flashed this a moment ago, but okay, it is the one. I'll just show you that image right here. This is the apology Adrian's, I guess, made. And he said sorry for making you cry in the tweet. The reason why I did not show this archive because it shows a IRL face, which I believe is his, and I do not want to be responsible for showing his face, so yep, there's that. Now that that's out of the way, he attempted at times to apologize to Taiga after labeling him as a sick individual, an odd move to be sure. If you confirm someone is a sick individual, I can't imagine wanting to apologize or get back in their good graces. This is one of the reasons why this invalidates all the allegations. Because first off, it seemed like he was only making them to pressure Taiga into doing what he wanted Taiga to do, which is having a close relationship. We'll probably see more of that in a moment. However, despite claiming to be done months ago on his website, he is still harassing Taiga, as of the time Burn Burn made this document. I don't know if it's still happening, but here, let me pull it up. Adrian's here says, tweeting at Twitch support, do you think it's appropriate to go live in front of a crowd of 600 people and tell lies like this about an innocent man for any reason at all? If yes, see you in court. If no, why is he unbanned? The community they're referring to is Kanan's VTuber Twitch stream. He's trying to shake and scare viewers away. Twitch support, is this okay? That a very large partner streamer slandered another partner, which about that, I'm not sure because I unfortunately cannot play this. It's just, I don't know, it's the unfortunate thing of this archive website. So I can't play it for you to see what he's trying to say. If Daigo, if you're watching this, just let me know what the context behind that is specifically. And also, keeping Kanan in mind later because he'll pop up later in this document. But just as a short, I'm pretty sure that Kanan did not. He's not a fourth member in all of this. You don't need to panic. He just so happened to be the interest of Adrian. Adrian just had an interest in him. I do believe instead of straight up denying a intimate relationship despite $500,000 being donated to Taiga, I'm pretty sure Kanan just accepted it. Pretty sure that's what just happened there. Which that also means you don't need to worry about Kanan also being a victim, as far as I'm concerned. I don't think Kanan is a victim of Adrian's, but I could be wrong and misinformed. Please correct me and citation is needed. Anyways, back to the doc. But anyways, he was gone as far for threatening to sue Twitch for having Taiga on the platform. He is also a hypocrite. The document, which will be covered, alleges Taiga's commission content is an interest for way too young people. Going as far as calling drawings CSAM, which stands for Child Exploitation Material. You can read that middle term. A term that's only applied to material tied to abuse for real children. Yeah, we'll get into that. But first, let me pull up the context here behind this. Alright, so we have Taiga's old account with Taiga saying, stop ruining your platform Discord. Someone here asking what happened. And this is where Adrian says that Taiga was banned, again, for the third time for posting CSAM in Discord. That is a lie. And also, there's this. Oh man, see, there's a not secure. That's why I do not trust this website. Or I don't trust it because of the source. But he says, sorry, that's from his last ban, not this one. I'm working on a new article for this band right now. If you click around this website, you'll see some of the worst stuff he's passed around this website. All I've been seeing, okay, is how, I don't know what the context behind that one is. Apparently he was replying to someone named Addict here. And yeah, there's some good points here. Last time I did not go over this stuff, but they mentioned that it was only Lolly, and that calling it actual CSAM is only damaging to actual victims. That is a good point to look towards. And yeah. Anywho. However, the stalker, I mean, despite saying, I'm pretty sure the drawings, by the way, the commissions was of Taiga persona, but is younger. But obviously, it's a fictional depiction. I don't think there's anything. I think it was just that they were just drawn as younger. Citation needed on that. Anyways, here's the part where I'm gonna need to start explaining this stuff outside because I'm not. There's no way I'm pulling this up on my phone. I mean, on my computer. So yes. However, yeah, the stalker continues to commission that kind of stuff and also that kind of stuff. And the image for this link, remember that Kanan VTuber? It's basically for context, is just a drawing of them younger, but like much younger. That as simple as that. It's just a depiction of Kanan being younger. Yeah, again showing. I believe that was Adrian's next obsession. First, originally he was obsessed with Taiga, but after he failed to get an intimate relationship that was going into far parasocial boundary areas, he went after he went to Kanan instead. And I think may have had better luck there getting his money accepted. Anywho, posted on a scab, which I'll also pull that up. Which I'll look here. Okay. Yeah. Yup. There's even some stuff blurred here. Hmm. Okay. Yep. All you need to know about that, by the way, like, first off, I will be leaving the link to this thread as well as this document itself too in the description of this video. But you can go ahead and look at this stuff. But yes, I can confirm that if what he's claiming is CSAM, then his account there on Scab is not a good thing for him. That it does not help his claim. He has, in fact, it backfires. Anyways, he has since found a new Taiga whose VTuber avatar is even more Toda-like and commissioned art that is pretty explicitly implied that they were in a relationship, despite previously claiming to be heterosexual in his legal document against Taiga. Unfortunately, because of me pulling up this stuff and referencing this stuff, I can't keep it anonymously, so the new Taiga was Kanan. I don't know if he found a new replacement for Kanan or he's still in Kanan's community to this very day. It is unknown. I don't think I will know unless, of course, people come out about that. And yeah, again, don't freak out over Kanan being involved in the direct stuff of this. All Kanan did was just doing his own thing and accepted Adrian into his community. That's all that happened. Kanan was not responsible for the allegations. And on the other side of the coin, Kanan is also, not to my knowledge, a victim of Adrian's. But quote me if I'm wrong, I guess. And I don't know. I guess he doesn't provide a link, but it probably because it's not something I could look at, or like he could link here. Anyways, Burnburn was also able to track down Azzy's not safe for work Twitter, which I'll pull it up on my phone. Okay, yeah, it was just called dumb but not safe for work. And unfortunately, because of the archive website I'm looking at, there's a lot of age restricted posts here that I can't actually see on my phone either. But I just want to acknowledge that as a thing. And there, which he is following, which I think Burn references his following 2 times for the people accounts he's following. A username at Shota Cookie, a current active account at the time they wrote this. I have no idea if it is still active. So I could also pull that up on my phone once it loads. And there it is. And let me look through this. Yeah, I can confirm. I can confirm that the user lives up to the name. Anywho, so the idea that he's quote unquote exposing Taiga's commissions in good faith is null and void. He is clearly still fine with such content and only used it as a tool to go after Taiga. Kilk is following multiple SFW artists who have done lolly art, which, oh, okay, so these are 2 different followings. This is, oh, Azzy's. I'm sorry, guys, not Adrian's. Correction, that was Azzy's on the SFW Twitter, not Adrian's. I should make that explicitly clear now, before I get that wrong. So that was Azzy's following, and that is Gilk's following. I'm sorry, I've been mixing up Azzy and Adrian's. At this point, the 3 are starting to seem very similar to me. Anyways, while not the main focus of any of these artists, they all have it in their portfolio. It is possible he is unaware. I guess if we're gonna be playing devil's advocate here, maybe he didn't know? I guess. But I was unable to easily dig into these artists' portfolios and find this with ease, likely indicating he is only upset with such content when it's useful. Allegedly, he also often posted photos of Gon and Killua from Hunter x Hunter kissing with the caption "How me and the homies be" in Taiga's Discord. Directed at Taiga, as shown in one of the follow-up docs to this defending Taiga. By the way, I'm gonna go ahead and pull this up. Okay, here's the context. Yeah, that was what they sent. I personally do not know these characters yet. You know, this is the interesting part right here I'm looking at. And this is the part where I'm asking, I really didn't want to stretch this video out. However, if you think this should be important for me to cover, I will go ahead and make a second video on Hellsling's document. The Hellsling's document will be referenced quite a few times here, actually. This is a moderator? Yeah, Twitch moderator and Discord admin, which I believe they are still actively in the community and help supporting it. But yeah, they made this doc. Apparently, it seemed like it was right after everything. So let me know, especially if you, Taiga, if you so be having this random YouTube video. First off, thanks for checking it out. I mean, it would be pretty obscure. I'd be pretty surprised. But if you do find this, let me know if I should do a second video on this, if this is something that needs to be looked at as well. Anyways, back to this. This being not much different from the content he later used to make allegations against Taiga. All three should have been aware he had such content and only seemed upset when they didn't get the relationship they wanted. This is a story of parasocialness or whatever. The only reason all this stuff happened was that Azzy, Gilk, and Adrian's were trying to get a relationship with Taiga and failed. And because of it, at least Azzy and Gilk, as I'm aware of, I don't know if Adrian technically teamed up with them or if it was just Adrian's spread Gilk and Azzy's document, but they were all doing it just because, yeah, it's sad. And I think that's something that really should be brought to light. So, with this, we can conduct the original document on Taiga, and its sharing is composed not with objective fact or safety of anyone in mind. It only exists to harm Taiga, and use any method possible to do so. Which I should keep in mind that, or bring up that Azzy, Gilk, and Adrian's appear to not be actively involved in all of this anymore. However, the legacy of the damage they have done still exists to this day. All this is still hurting Taiga. So, however, this does not mean there cannot be truth in the document, and it should be looked at nonetheless. I would love to look at that. But we'll get to like right now, because here's the section of the expose. Now, we should go over the document in question, which we've been alluding to multiple times, which has been deleted from Google. Yes, that's unfortunate. We cannot unfortunately look at that, but also its contents can be found here, which is covered by a YouTuber, along with two response pieces, one by one of Taiga's mods and Taiga himself. And now, before I go into the next statement, I should go ahead here and show you this video is not available anymore. It's unfortunate. So the contents of Gilganazzi's doc is officially lost media in this case. I don't know if we will know the exact contents. If anyone does have access to this, let me know. Or yeah, again, because I know Taiga has done reactions to these type of videos or pay attention to them. So I guess at the same time, I'm gonna be real with you. Me with 4 subscribers, I think where I'm sitting at right now. I don't think this video is going anywhere, unfortunately. But I think it's worth a shot. Off that tangent, Taiga, if you do see this, just let me know if there's any references I can still pull up on this, like screenshots you can share. I don't know. This may or may not have to call for a follow-up. As much as I want this one video to be a one and done, I think there's a lot that needs to be looked at. Anyways, it opens up with the sick interest accusations. To address the elephant in the room, Taiga did, in fact, privately commissioned the content he is accused of, and I will leave it to you, the viewer, to make your own judgment on your feelings regarding this. I remain neutral. I have encountered entire groups of sick individuals open MAPs, which is people who also known as minor attracted persons, which are people who openly admit to that stuff, believe it or not, or unironic lolicons, I think I could say at this point. We'll just put that in quotation marks as they call themselves, who lust after real children, by the way, who absolutely want drawings and real children abuse conflated. It benefits them to array of ways such as distracting from direct child abuse and pulling attention to morally detested drawings, and allow them to draw people into debates such content instead of focusing on the main abusive acts they perform. I've seen these tactics on many occasions. In response to this, I stay out of the debate on morality of drawings. I hunt people who harm children. I won't accuse someone of hurting real children over the morality of art. However, I do not blame anyone who finds such content morally reprehensible, and I will not object to negative views on it either, as there is an overlap between the two communities as long as there's two forms of content are not conflated. Conflation of these topics make my work harder, as I, other investigators, the police, and cyber tip line have to start investigations asking, is this art I can do nothing about or actual crimes being committed with real victims? It is a red flag, but not a smoking gun or an actual evidence of abuse. Okay, I agree with what I think I could say, but like Lally and Shota stuff is strange. However, from what I've seen, it is not just exclusive to, of course, younger fictional characters. And it's also related to a body type, like a more petite body type. So this becomes even more blurry because then you have people who look much younger, but it's mostly just them being petite. But obviously they're older, or they show signs of being able to like understand concepts behind enough to like be able to consent to things properly and know what they're getting into. And at the end of the day, I would not act upon any of that art and or try doing that stuff in real life, because there's no such thing as those type of characters where they look really young, but they're actually really much older than what they look. But it is just art, and I think in a moment here, if I remember correctly from my first reading, we'll skim over a twit longer Taiga made, and they bring up the fact like guns cause violence. Wait, no, it's not that specifically. No, it's video games cause violence specifically, not that. Which that's also a debate. It is this. I think it what it comes from is people not looking at all angles of it. But at the end of the day, if a real kid, if the person has not actively went after a real minor, I'm not too concerned about. And I'll just accept that as just a weird art thing. Okay? Alright. Speaking of actual harm to children, let's address the joke. There is a DM where Taiga is speaking to someone who uncovered a minor posting lewds in their Discord channel. Taiga asks for these lewds, and when the user states they're 17 years old, in a response, Taiga says, FS who cares? I was able to speak to Taiga about this directly. He claims this was just a horrible joke he knows what's wrong and very deeply regrets, and he made this joke because he was an immature 19-year-old. From all mentions of it, he seems to genuinely regret this, not only the fact that he said it and got caught, but understanding why a joke like that is not okay, and how minors are frequently harmed in a very real way when asked such questions are asked, and even that asking for lewds not given to him directly is not okay of anyone of any age. He even addresses this, and his statements to me match up with his statement here. For what of it's worth, the fact that he now acknowledges this is very atypical from any actual predator I've seen. Yes, most from what I've also seen, most predators try to act like that didn't happen. They try hiding anything that makes them look bad. They definitely make it very clear that they have skeletons in their closet. Anyways, let's get into this twit longer. I'm just gonna skim this. Of course, you can look over this. This is just going over stuff I kind of briefly mentioned. And yeah, killing video games make you a murderer, committing crimes in the game means you're a criminal. Teabagging in video games is violent video games create violent individuals. All of which are just, I don't know what the type of statements those are. I know some other ones I would add onto is that Monster Energy drinks are from the devil, and that you are worshiping demons if you play Dungeons and Dragons. There are just statements like those. I do not know what to call them. Feel free to tell me what type of statements those are. But they seem to be those type stuff. Skim through this a little bit, you can either pause or what I much more prefer is if you go to this document and read it yourself. Alright, the next paragraph. He also joked about wanting to be touched by his gym teacher. This is a riff on Mac and It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. The entire episode revolves around this concept. Not much more to say on that. It's actually just a joke. From a show with dark humor. That's all it is. That I can confirm to you that's all that was. Did look at the video and I did react to it. Make sure I don't add too much more fluff to this. Yeah, I watched the whole thing. I was trying to find a specific part about like him. Like I thought because I thought this was a quote, but no, it was just the whole episode. Anyways, after this point, the doc is still quite strange. It leads to accusations of sick interest and then shifts into drama. And that's where, like, if the other things were not clear signs of this should be signs of the instability of these statements. Accusations of toxicity, I'm sorry, I still laugh at this, and claims of racism and transphobia with some screenshots that cannot be verified following accusations of sick interest. Taiga's statement is that these parts of the document are fake and edited logs. And after admitting to his joke, I do not see any reason why he would lie on this. That I can read on that, which is why I feel comfortable sharing some of this stuff. Anyways, and admit the briar. Basically, everything after this point appears pretty clearly to be a few or even a single individual who Taiga was angry with for spreading rumors. I will leave most of this to the doc released by one of his mods, Hellslang, yet again, this one, and let me know if I should read this. By the way, I mean, for context for that, I mean, do a video of me reading this. I will, in fact, make sure that I read this on my own, for sure, because I think it might have some important information for me to look at. It already seems like there's some important stuff that I found in there. I investigate child abusers, not drama. And that is also just kind of funny. It's just the whole. And sometimes it ends up being like, he said that or she said that. It's like, at that point, I gotta stop taking that a little bit seriously. Like, I want hardcore evidence or actual stuff, but actual bad stuff happening. Not just that, oh, he called me a mean name. He said that I looked funny. Like, seriously? Come on. I would assume these people are adults. But I shouldn't be surprised. There are plenty of adults who act like children when it comes to handling serious topics. Anyways, but from my observations, Hellslang's document appears to be on point. While silently observing the Discord before approaching Taiga with questions, I could find nothing but support for trans people and no traces of racism in his Discord while I was investigating it. In fact, it was downright welcoming, and as someone who is in the Discord, I can confirm it here. It is one of the most kindest places I've been there. People have been very nice and friendly to me when I've been interacting on there. And also, that'd be a great moment to point out that, of course, Taiga would like to contact me about this. If there's anything I got wrong, if I should do a follow up, or even just let me know what I did do right, or just thanking me for doing this. Whatever you do, I'll accept any criticism. And I am in the Discord. I should just be easy to find in there. I'm literally go under net the tree there as well. But yes, you could find me on there as well. So I should let you know in the off chance that Taiga does somehow see this video. Alright, Gilg will even follow up with a second document on toxicity and abuse to unpaid moderators who could walk away at any point who were not performing their job. I'm sorry. I know this is kind of bad stuff, but at the same time, it's just like, man, grow a spine. Like, seriously, grow a backbone, grow up. If you're an adult who be able to moderate like a Discord server, you should just not let that stuff get to you. That is so dumb. Anyways, and also not performing their job too. That is kind of funny. Anyways, Gilk fails to reveal the screenshots he provides are him speaking, which indicates toxicity to mods might actually be toxicity to a mod. Frankly, this is petty drama, but it appears to be the real reason the doc was created. Not for any fear of harm to children, but because an unpaid Discord and Twitch moderator was upset they got fired for not doing their quote unquote job to release a document claiming sick interest, and half the document is on toxicity, and then create a new one with 17 pages about toxicity. And zero mentions, by the way, of sick interest indicates to me, at least, that Gilk knew his claims were false. They included the one damning convo they could find, and the content they were perfectly fine with prior to her Taiga. Yeah, I mean, mostly it's like, what's their source, and it's that I made it up. It's like one of those jokes I could make here. And that also, suddenly, now that Taiga denied having an intimate relationship with you, suddenly now all the stuff that Taiga's done is bad? Which is it? What is it, Gilk, Azzy, and Adrian's? I'm very concerned. What is it? Is it all this stuff is bad? Or is it perfectly fine? Anyways, at this point, many of these accusations have become a game of telephone, bouncing from one person to the next with no one digging further and nobody at all noticing the harassment Taiga himself is a victim of. Keep in mind, this was made by, let me see what happens when I pull this. This was created October 16th, 2022, by the way. That was when this document was created in Google Drive or Google Docs website itself and was opened up. It's been 2 years. If you know the context or stuff I've been looking into with Taiga, you know this has not stopped. It has been going on. It's always been either telephone and kind of spreading misinformation, or people just straight up and ignoring the fact that Taiga's been victimized for a multitude of years. So let's just wrap this up with a summary. In summary, I have found clear evidence that the doc against Taiga was created by individuals including a real-life stalker who only interest was hurting Taiga with zero interest in keeping children safe or morally disliking certain content. The content he has privately commissioned, you will have to make your own judgments on the morality of. And I also vouch for that. I am also iffy on it, and I think I made some decisions on some ways is how it's okay and how it's not. I urge you, the viewers of this video, make your own opinions on this. And not only that, also see, is this really worth accusing these allegations to Taiga for over fictional characters? I'll let you be the judge of that. Anyways, but direct abuse it is not. The art is not direct abuse. I will say the only times where drawing characters of like younger people really starts making me not okay with it is when they're of real people, as you may have heard with Shadman's ordeal, with him drawing very not safe artwork of Keemstar's daughter. Keep in mind at the time Shadman did that, Keemstar's daughter was very young, so that crosses the line for me when the art is supposed to be based off a real person. Correctly. That is actually a child. Anyways, the stalker's behavior towards Taiga, however, is unquestionably abuse and stalking, and it has flown completely under the radar. In regards to him, Taiga is not actually the abuser, but the abused. He acknowledges and understands his mistakes, and he seems to actively be looking for more ways to secure his server members are safe. He even asked, after I revealed I was a sick individual investigator and looking into him, if I'd be interested in sticking around his server and keeping an eye out for trouble. I declined, but this shows genuine interest in keeping the community and members there safe, and willingness to invite someone who actively goes after people who do what he is accused of. That is very noble. I think the first time I saw that, I didn't realize. Yeah, again, I didn't read the doc yet the first time I tried making a video on this, but Taiga, yet again, I'm sorry to keep doing this, guys. But Taiga, if you are somehow watching this, you're a very kind and noble person for doing something like that. Like having the idea of trying to keep your community safe. And I could also confirm even further that Taiga and his moderators been doing a good job making sure minors are not getting into the server, as it is an 18 plus server you would have to join, so we'll get into that in a second here. But yeah, always be cautious of exposes. As someone who has performed them, they are one of the least effective methods at going after predators and should be used as a last resort, and are more frequently than not just people with beef going after each other. Despite him not actively using Lolly that or Shota that for himself, even distancing himself from the term, many in the Lolly that community are trying to flock to Taiga, including the individuals who do cross the line into abusers hidden amongst them. He more than ever needs help, not belief in his stalkers' accusations. Whatever feelings you have on Taiga are for you to decide, but you should base them off the truth and not fiction, written by your own stalkers. And here, Burn provides a follow-up. This seems like an important document. Yet again, should I cover this? Let me know in the comments. Taiga's own statement, we already skimmed through this. By the way, let me know, Taiga, if you're watching this, yeah, again. But let me know if I should read this, do this reading of this as well, or if it's just going over the same information that I've already gone over. And then a good video covering the topic, which I believe, yeah, that's unfortunate. I don't even know who the YouTuber was. This is currently lost media, and so it's a document, the contents of the document Gilkanazi wrote, and then the other one that Gilk wrote. I don't know. But anyways, I have given the link to Taiga to post should my account ever go down for unrelated reasons, and it may be due to the work I do. I still stand by every word I have written here. And I stand by making this video. And also, whatever counter, I don't know if people are keeping count of this, but Taiga, if you're watching this, you do have permission to share my video on this. You have all the permission to share this, by the way, whether it's in your Discord, on your sister's Twitter, wherever places you can, you're allowed to react to this as well, if you would like. I give you full permission. I know you like to do some of this reaction stuff sometimes because you like to give critique, and I would love to hear your feedback on this, honestly. I would really love to. Especially as me being the potentially first person covering this. And even if you do decide to reach out to me through DMs, I might even just send you the actual video file itself for you, so you can at least keep a copy on you, just in case someone decides to mass report the video and get it taken down. But yes, I will give you full permission as well too, Taiga, because I do trust you. Which that leads to the end of this document. Closing notes. I think this is definitely something people look over. Unfortunately, I also kind of am looking over this and this for now. But hey, I might end up having to do a part 2 or a part 3 on this. Or a part 4 even. I don't know, because I might, if anyone could find, like, the original video, if anyone had the original video, that one YouTuber, or even find the person who made it, as well as some of the videos that did not work through the archive. Like, a lot of them did not work. Like, hang on, let me see. Yeah, this. I can't play this, unfortunately. I can't. There is so much lost media in this document, too, which I would be something, which is also something I'm always interested in, too. Like, I always like lost media or something, so if you guys have access to it, any of this stuff, like, even screenshots or more, or like you have transcripts for what the videos would have entailed, just let me know. For now, probably through Twitter DMs. I might need to figure out how I'm gonna do that. Honestly, this is the first time I report on anything like this. So yeah, now you may be thinking, well, now we know this information. What can we do about this? The first thing is to spread this information. This is an important document right here. I went over a lot today, but yeah, do your best to share the link to this document directly, or, share this thread right here. This needs to be like, there's already like a whole bunch of reposts and quote retweets. I know I've done one of them. You'll probably see in my Twitter account. And also, sharing this video. I know, I guess this is my first time doing YouTube, so I know there's like the whole like and subscribe thing. Those would be nice for me, but that's not necessarily helpful to getting people to know. People are not going to know about this document if you just only like this video and subscribe. But what I hope is A, sharing this video directly, also archiving it too. Please archive my video. I know I will keep a copy, but I just want to be safe just in case anything happens to my own video. Or in fact, use this video as a reference, a starting point to make your own video. Go ahead, do what I'm doing, okay? The more people either sharing this video or making their own video, any attention to this document is important. I think due to the harassment Taiga has received over years and the fact they're currently trying to get their stuff back, especially their Twitter and YouTube, they're in a rough spot. And if you do see the innocence that I see, share it. That's the first part. It was sharing the information and correcting people too. Don't be too aggressive, but just make sure you're actively correcting people. Now, what else, right? Well, the other thing we can do is just spread positivity. And that's the best you can do. If you're an artist, draw art of Taiga. I've seen people make music videos. You can go ahead and do that. I don't know, poems. I'm trying to figure out stuff people would do. Maybe like your favorite moments of Taiga that you have in the past, or talk about how like on other social platforms, or maybe even through YouTube community tab, or you know what, screw it, you can do a video on it too. Talk about like how Taiga has impacted your life. All that stuff is because I think the most thing we need right now is attention, and that is the type of attention we need to be spreading to, and the type of stuff we need to be spreading is the correct information, correcting all the allegations, and just mostly positivity. Taiga has been having to deal with negativity for the past 2 years, and unfortunately, I've kind of joined in till this late, way too late. Like, it's almost a year now since I've been following Taiga's Twitch channel. I came way too late, and I feel that it's better now than never, they say. So screw it. So feel free to comment down below about your thoughts on stuff, to correct me on things, provide more context to stuff I may not have fully gotten. Share this video, and go ahead and do your own video, like doing a reading like this. It's just something simple like that. And liking the video and subscriptions are optional and do not help this case, obviously. But you feel free to do it if you would like. I don't care. I'll only push it more when I get to my own content. But yeah, I hope that this video was informative, and that if Taiga you're watching, thank you for having a great community. It's been nice talking in your Discord when I have been talking in there. And for everyone else, so just have a good rest of your morning, evening, afternoon, whenever you're watching this. And I'll see you in hopefully either a next video or my first Twitch stream. Other than that, see you later.